we're doing something a little different this time. We're spending a whole weekend with our friends. And we're not doing your normal overlanding trip. We spent the night in a campsite last night. We're gonna spend the weekend on Fort Fisher Beach in Carolina Beach, North Carolina. Welcome to Boondock Haverlock. All right, so before we head down to the beach, we got a little bit of maintenance to do on the truck. If you remember, the last time I was in the Ozarks, it rained on us a lot. Now, I don't think it's supposed to rain this weekend, but it might on like Sunday night. So I wanna make sure that this thing doesn't leak on us again. So what I'm gonna do is I would like to silicone all the bolts that go through, but for now, I'm just gonna do what I did before, which worked for a while, and replace these little rubber washers to hopefully seal it up for the weekend. I do have to paint because, let me show you up here. I did add a crossbar here and a couple crossbars there to kind of get everything to center the basket, and we added basically a shower tent. It's our poop tent. So we don't have to carry the extra tent around with us in the back of the truck. So the places it was leaking in the rain were from these guys down here. So I'm just gonna replace those rubber washers right there for now. I've got 8 of them to do. And then once I take this off to paint, I'm gonna go ahead and get better washers, run some silicone on there, and make sure it's gonna be sealed. I also have to seal this guy here because this was leaking a little bit. And at the same time, I'm also going to put a vent fan up in the front there so we don't get smoked out in the summer, because it gets kind of warm in there if you're in the sun. So we want to have a vent fan. But I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this corner at a time and get these things replaced before we head on down to the beach. It should be fairly easy. This should be kind of flexible enough to where I can just do one corner at a time. There's only 2 bolts, 2 9/16 inch bolts on each side. So we'll get them loosened from the top and then take the nuts off the bottom, which I'm gonna have to reach in here and grab those if I can. Am I flexible enough? I am. There's 1. There's 2. I'm gonna go down there and take the nuts off. Back up here. Let's see, is this gonna be nice? Ooh, I'm gonna have to loosen up back and front. So let's get this one over here loosened up. Oh no, I can't get to it because of all the stuff that's in the way. Maybe this one. All loose. That one's loose. I'm gonna take those nuts off. All right, now that I got both sides loose, should hopefully pick up a little bit easier. Maybe. That picked up. That picked up. I need something to set in here to hold this up. While I do this, let's set that in there. That should give me enough. Yep. That'll seem to be on there pretty good. So these right here, this one doesn't look terribly bad. So I think it wasn't leaking from these ones. I'll pull those out once I get these ones, the 2 new ones on over here. We can see if we can see why that one was leaking so bad. Man, it was a lot easier to do this when all this stuff wasn't together. Come on, rubber washer. One, let me get that kind of lined up with the hole. Well, I'll wait to get that lined up with the hole. Let's get the other one on. See how that goes. All right, now let's try and do this side. Ooh, this one got dirty. This one is not going to be fun. All right, now this is the one that was leaking bad. I can't really tell. I think what happened was it just got moved around. I think just it got, essentially just got water soaked. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace these and then do the other two in the front, and that's gonna be it for this part of it. And then we can pack up and head to the beach. So here's the thing. A lot of people think that overlanding and all these trips are to be at the epic place and get away from everybody. Sometimes you just need to go somewhere with some good friends and hang out for a day or two. We are staying at a campground, so that's gonna be nice. We don't gotta worry about trying to find a place. And the best part is we can spend all day at this beach. And it's like there's nobody around, even though there is, because you can't hear them. You can see them, but the beauty is you get the ocean. And it just kind of makes everything else go away. So, there's that. But always remember, you don't always have to find the greatest thing to do. Just find good people to go with. Well, it's the second day out here on Fort Fisher for the weekend. It's not as sunny, not as windy, a little cloudy, but it's still a good day. Again, just hanging out for the weekend. Not every trip has to be a super epic, super let's go somewhere where nobody else goes. It's just, again, about the people that you're with, the times you share, and just having a good time. So I know this isn't like our normal videos where we're traveling somewhere, doing whatever. We just came to a campsite and went to a beach. So we'll be out here all day, and we're gonna do something new on this video. We got one of those cameras that doesn't, it's a digital camera, but it doesn't show you a preview. It's like an old school film camera. You take a shot, you got a viewfinder, but you don't get to see the picture until you upload it or until you connect it to a computer. You can't even connect it to your phone. So we've got a bunch of pictures, and at the end of this video and moving forward, at the end of every video, we're just gonna have a montage of the pictures we've taken with that camera. They're gonna be goofy, they're gonna be out of focus. It's just gonna be a good time, and I think it's just something that's gonna add a little bit at the end. But at some point we're gonna go back and get some food tonight, and we're gonna call it a weekend. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. If not, let me know. Let me know what you wanna hear, or what you wanna see, not what you wanna hear. What you want to see. Anyway, have a good one, and as always, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.
Good friends that became great families.
I'll be right back to take off
Well, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see in the future. Anyway, hit that subscribe button if you want. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and here comes that montage I was talking about.